Zambia's political arena has just been rocked by a bold statement, one that few saw coming. Brian Mundubile, a key patriotic front figure and loyal ally of the late Edgar Lungu, has spoken out with confidence, declaring that Lungu never appointed ministers out of loyalty, but purely on merit. It's a claim that challenges everything critics have said for years, that Lungu's government was built on favoritism, not competence. But here's the question, why make this defense now? Is Mundubile trying to protect Lungu's legacy, or positioning himself as the next true face of the PF? As Zambia prepares for the 2026 elections, the timing couldn't be more explosive, and inside PF circles, this single statement has reignited debates about leadership, loyalty, and the true meaning of merit. Because if Lungu's appointments were indeed based on merit, then his legacy, and those who served under him, may look very different in the eyes of the public. Welcome to InspirAfrica Official, your home for fearless analysis, bold storytelling, and untold political truths across Zambia and the continent. Today, we take a closer look at Brian Mundubile's unexpected defense of Edgar Lungu, a man still dominating Zambia's political conversations even after death. What did Mundubile really mean by "Lungu chose on merit"? How are former PF ministers reacting behind the scenes? And could this be part of a larger plan to rebuild PF's image before the next election? Stay with us, because what seems like a simple statement might just reveal the early signs of a succession war within the Patriotic Front, and a strategic attempt to rewrite Lungu's political history. This is more than politics, it's about loyalty, legacy, and power in Zambia's fight for the future. Brian Mundubile has made headlines after boldly defending former President Edgar Lungu, claiming that all PF ministers were chosen on merit, not loyalty. In this video, we break down what Mundubile said, the unexpected defense, Lungu was not a tribal leader, revisiting the past, the Lungu cabinet debate, reactions within the PF, divided opinions, the Lungu family's quiet reaction, pride and pain, what this means for PF's future, a call for redemption. Watch till the end as we uncover the full story behind this powerful statement. Subscribe for more political documentaries and breaking stories from Zambia and across Africa. The unexpected defense. Lungu was not a tribal leader. Zambia's political atmosphere has once again been thrown into turmoil, this time by a statement that caught almost everyone off guard. Brian Mundubile, one of the most disciplined and respected figures within the Patriotic Front, PF, has broken his silence with a bold declaration that's dividing the country. In a recent interview, Mundubile stood firm in defense of the late President Edgar Lungu, challenging one of the most controversial narratives about his time in power, that Lungu allegedly surrounded himself with loyalists and made cabinet appointments based on tribal lines. President Lungu did not choose his ministers based on friendship or tribe, Mundubile declared confidently. He chose those he believed could deliver for Zambia. Those powerful words instantly rippled across social media, dominating conversations on X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and radio talk shows. Supporters of the late president hailed Mundubile's defense as long overdue, praising him for speaking the truth that many within PF had been too cautious to voice publicly. But critics weren't as kind. Opponents accused him of trying to sanitize Lungu's controversial legacy, arguing that his leadership was plagued by favoritism and political patronage. Some even claimed Mundubile's comments were a calculated attempt to position himself as the moral torchbearer of the Lungu legacy, ahead of PF's looming succession battle. Still, one thing is undeniable. Mundubile's statement has reignited one of Zambia's most emotionally charged debates. Was Edgar Lungu truly a fair and inclusive leader, or did he govern through loyalty and allegiance? Whatever the answer, Mundubile's defense has reminded Zambians that even in death, Edgar Lungu's legacy continues to stir powerful emotions, and the fight to define it is far from over. Revisiting the past, the Lungu cabinet debate, to understand the storm behind Mundubile's defense, we must look back to the years when Edgar Lungu ruled Zambia. During his presidency, critics often accused him of appointing ministers based on personal loyalty rather than competence, surrounding himself with trusted allies from his inner circle, often those from Eastern Province or close PF factions. However, Mundubile insists that this narrative is wrong. According to him, many of Lungu's key appointments were people from diverse regions and backgrounds, technocrats, legal experts, and professionals who had proven themselves long before entering politics. He argued that those who served in Lungu's cabinet were not handpicked for blind loyalty, but because they had the knowledge and capacity to deliver. In his words, Lungu believed in unity through competence, not tribalism. This defense strikes at the core of one of the most persistent criticisms Lungu faced, that he was more interested in protecting his allies than advancing Zambia's progress. Reactions within the PF, divided opinions. Inside the Patriotic Front itself, reactions to Mundubile's statement have been mixed. Some PF members quietly agree, saying Mundubile spoke a truth others were too afraid to say out loud. They argue that the constant attacks on Lungu's leadership record are unfair and politically motivated, especially now that he's gone. But not everyone is happy. A few prominent PF figures, particularly those aligned with the reformist wing, believe Mundubile's defense risks reopening old wounds. The party should focus on rebuilding, not revisiting the past, one senior member reportedly told local media. Every time we talk about who Lungu trusted or didn't trust, we divide ourselves again. The tension is visible. With PF already facing internal struggles over leadership succession and its future direction, Mundubile's statement has added fresh fuel to the fire. Yet, for others, his words may be exactly what the PF needs, a reminder of unity, pride, and the belief that their late leader's legacy still matters. The Lungu family's quiet reaction, pride and pain, behind the scenes. Sources close to the Lungu family reveal that Mundubile's remarks were received with quiet gratitude. For months, the family has remained largely silent amid the endless political commentary surrounding Edgar Lungu's leadership, his death, and the legacy battles that followed. But insiders say that hearing someone publicly defend his decision-making and emphasize his commitment to competence has brought a small measure of comfort to the family, especially to those who felt the former president was unfairly portrayed. Still, not everyone in the family agrees. Some prefer to keep a low profile and avoid being drawn into political debates while the nation still mourns. But even within that silence, Mundubile's defense has struck a chord, reminding Zambians that, to the Lungus, the late president's reputation is deeply personal, not just political. What this means for PF's future, a call for redemption. Mundubile's bold statement may be about Edgar Lungu, but its timing is no accident. As PF struggles to find its footing after months of internal chaos, corruption allegations, and leadership vacuum, his words sound less like a defense and more like a rallying cry, an attempt to restore dignity to a fractured movement. By invoking Lungu's leadership style, Mundubile seems to be sending a message that the PF must return to its roots of discipline, inclusion, and national unity, values that once helped it dominate Zambian politics. Whether his defense will unite or further divide the party remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Brian Mundubile has reignited the conversation about what PF stands for, and more importantly, who should carry its torch into the future. In the end, his words may be remembered not just as a defense of the past, but as a challenge to the present. As Zambia debates whether PF can rise again, one question echoes across the political landscape. Was Mundubile defending Lungu or declaring his own readiness to lead?